Guys, I wanted to bring a story to you today to just tell you, pay attention. When you're talking to a woman, just pay attention to what she says. More than likely, if you are paying attention, she will screen herself for you. TLDR at the bottom. For reference, I am a 25-year-old male referring to my 24-year-old cheating girlfriend. For the last few weeks, she had been acting distant and I knew something was going on. 2 nights ago, she came home at 2 in the morning with holes in her story about where she had been. If you guys are boyfriend and girlfriend, why is she coming home at 2 in the morning? Hello? My gut told me to ask to go through her phone, and this was the first time I had ever done that in any relationship. What I found destroyed me. She had cheated with 4 different guys while living with me, and she admitted she physically hooked up with 3 of them. We had been together for 5 months. Come on, man. Why is somebody moving into your place after dating for 5 months? Some of this is on him. She is 24 and told me early on her body count was 27. Damn. Sounds like she's on the pace for Guinness Book of World Records. 27 and only 24? Wow. That already hit me hard, but we seemed so compatible at the start. It always happens like that. I did not think she was marriage material early on, but I still decided to take a chance on a relationship to see how it would go. I ignored some red flags and gave her the benefit of the doubt. A month and a half ago, she was getting evicted because she was a trust fund kid who mismanaged her money and could no longer pay for her current housing. I do not usually move in with people this quickly, but at that point we had been dating about 3 months and she seemingly had no place to go. Still a bad move. So I let her move in with me and had her pay rent. She worked a minimum wage job and I was trying to help her get something better. She had no motivation to improve. Most nights she was drinking, smoking weed, vaping nicotine, and just sitting there with brain rot, mindlessly scrolling on TikTok. I thought I could help her turn things around. Her phone told me the truth. Here we go again, these damn cell phones. Guy 1 was an old friends with benefits I told her I was not comfortable with. Guy 2 was her new landlord for a place she claimed she found online, but she actually met him on Tinder. Guy 3 was one of her bosses, and I already suspected something. Guy 4 was a random Tinder hookup she saw just 2 days ago. When I confronted her, she got higher than I had ever seen, clearly to avoid answering me. She kept saying she did not know or remember when I asked her questions. When she was moving her stuff out, her guy friend who was helping her tried to talk to me about how we had never made it exclusive. He was not one of the people she cheated on me with, but I do not know if he was trying to gaslight me. Early on, I told her I do not do hookups, and she agreed, saying she does not either. She told me she wanted a long-term relationship in the future, and I agreed. Now see, I'm gonna put some of this on him. If he would have paid attention to her actions most of the time, he probably could have avoided almost all of this. We may not have used the exact words boyfriend or girlfriend, but we were living together. That should have been clear enough. Finding out wrecked me. I could not sleep for 48 hours, could not eat, and I kept throwing up, gagging and coughing from the stress. I could not believe I let her into my house and extended my sincerity to her, only for her to become a parasite. I feel used and discarded. She never said sorry and never said thank you. She seems like the type who is only on Tinder to use guys for their money, their help, and their housing. She also took her black cat with her, the one I mostly cared for while she was working. Who gives a shit about a cat? I bought that cat an engraved tag and an air tag. Now I will never see it again. Good for you. I ended it immediately. Okay, but if you pay attention, just pay attention. I'm gonna keep saying that. Just pay attention. And sometimes if you're dating someone and they're this so-called bad bitch, sometimes our reasoning skills may travel from our brain down to the other head. Don't do that. It's going to cause problems in the future if you end up with a woman like this. She is now living with one of the guys she cheated with and still working at the place where she hooked up with another. Everyone I have talked to says breaking up was the right move. My brother even said that even if she had not cheated, I should have left. Hell yeah, you should have been gone. I already knew she was not marriage material, but I took a chance anyway and got burned worse than I could have imagined. Yeah, I guess that's what they say. Sometimes you gotta take one for the team, and sometimes you have to learn the hard way. I still kind of have feelings for her because I am still in shock. Why are you in shock? You ended up getting with a woman who seems to be the neighborhood, what they call the neighborhood bicycle. I am sitting in my place right now and I cannot believe it is all over. It feels so empty here without her. Right now, I feel like I need to radically accept what happened, not dwell on it, and move forward into another relationship someday. I am having a hard time figuring out how to actually do that. I do not think I picked up any lasting trauma from this, even though I had the physical shock response on and off for the last day. Does anyone have advice on how to move forward? At this moment, I feel like I want to get back in the game and start dating again. Nope, not a good move. Take some time to heal mentally. That's the only time you should do that. Or if you're just looking for a rebound, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But I still think this is too soon for you to get back in this early. I do not think I can afford therapy, but I do have friends and family I can talk to about this. TLDR, I dated a 24-year-old girlfriend for 5 months. I knew early she was not marriage material, but I took a chance. After 3 months, she was getting evicted because she was a trust fund kid who blew her money. So I let her move in and pay rent. Most nights, she drank, smoked weed, vaped, and scrolled TikTok. Lately, she seemed distant, then came home at 2 a.m. with holes in her story. For the first time in my life, I asked her to see her phone and found she cheated with 4 guys while living with me and admitted to hooking up with 3. When confronted, she got extremely high to avoid answering. Her guy friend, not one she cheated with, claimed we were not exclusive, but we had agreed early on to be serious. I felt used and discarded. She never said thank you or sorry, and she even took her black cat with her, which I had grown close to and cared for while it was living here. I ended it immediately, but I am still in shock, sitting in my empty place, trying to radically accept it and move on. I cannot afford therapy, but I have friends and family to talk to. Any advice on how to move forward? Yeah, for one, take time to heal mentally. 2, stop ignoring red flags. If you ignore red flags, they can come back to hurt you financially and physically. And just pay attention. Try to be disciplined. Just pay attention. Always trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right based on past experiences and she does something to reignite that feeling, either you talk to her about it or you just walk away. Don't be afraid to walk away. Even after you've discussed it with her, if it doesn't feel right, don't be afraid to walk away. If you like this type of content, consider subscribing for more. Until next time.